some interesting comments that were made by Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott tweeted an apology after the comments he made regarding the referees in the brutal outcome between the Cowboys and the 49ers, obviously, on Saturday, Saturday was when the game was played, or Sunday was when the game was played, the wild card game between the 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys lost 23-17, and the final play of the game drew a lot of heads, and it drew the ire of critics because some amalgamation of Dak Prescott, Mike McCarthy, and Kellen Moore decided to run a QB draw with the expectation, the belief that they'd have enough time to spike it. So that was their play. Whatever we know the result, they ended up losing. The refs didn't allot them enough time to spike the ball. Regardless, and needless to say, that with that being said, the reason why we're discussing this is because of the post-game remarks and the types of comments that Dak Prescott made in his post-game remarks. And for the first time in Dak Prescott's career, his character unraveled. Dak Prescott has always been an extremely polished, professional, classy, stand-up guy. He has aced the podiums, aced every single interview. Every single time he's supposed to speak on behalf of the Cowboys in front of the media, he's nailed it. He has represented and has served as the face of the franchise in exemplary fashion. But on Sunday, when he was asked about Cowboys fans throwing debris and other objects on the referees as they were trying to exit off the field at the end of that controversial ending between the Cowboys and the 49ers, he endorsed their behavior. And he was condoning it and said, quote, "Credit to them then. Credit to them." Initially, he was asked that question, but he thought it was that the Cowboys fans were throwing it to the Cowboys players, which he condemned. But when it came to throwing it on the referees, he was cool with it. And retrospection is a really interesting thing because it's not simply looking back and reflecting on your own actions and evaluating yourself, but retrospection is also evaluating how your own actions landed with other people and how they reacted to your actions. That's also what's a part of retrospection. And what happened was Dak Prescott, after he uttered those comments about the referees, he was on the receiving end of a barrage of criticism and backlash from the media, from fans, from the NBA Referees Union. They released a powerful statement condemning that type of behavior, condemning that type of deplorable action, and claiming that Dak Prescott is a leader in the NFL and he should be better and he should do better. And it's only after those comments were made and those statements were issued that Dak Prescott felt the need to tweet out an apology on Twitter. And in my opinion, this is why he's come out with this new softened stance and is trying to retract and walk back some of his statements, is because of the public backlash. He wants and is seeking a little public remorse here. Now, again, in fairness to him, Dak Prescott has built up a reputation as being a stand-up guy, as being extremely, extremely professional. He's a well-respected individual amongst the NFL community. He is a finalist and is the Dallas Cowboys nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award, and it's deserving. But I think part of what happened was because of that extremely negative reaction to what he said, he felt implored, that almost implored him to have to issue this apology. Because there's no question that when you are participating in highly emotional activities and you lose in a highly emotional fashion, emotion can cause you to say regrettable things. And I have no doubt that he was caught up in the emotion, and he truly probably is sorry for those comments he uttered regarding those referees. However, in the same breath, it doesn't necessarily mean that he doesn't believe what he said. And I think that he truthfully was extremely frustrated. He was extremely disappointed and upset with the fact that the referees didn't line up with the Cowboys in time for them to spike it and get off another play. Because I actually do think, to Dak's credit, regardless of whether or not they should have won that game, I did think that their players had gone up to the line of scrimmage fast enough and organized enough where if the referee perhaps was able to spot it a second faster, they could have gone off a spike. I do believe that is the case. I'll give him that. But both he and Mike McCarthy defended the calls, they defended the plays, and not only did they defend it, but they doubled down on it, because Dak Prescott was given an opportunity to walk back those comments, and he didn't. A reporter asked him, almost kind of chuckling with other reporters before, Dak, did you really mean to kind of put the blame on the refs and condone this type of behavior? And he said, if they were just as disrespected as we were about that play, then yeah, I have no problem with it. And so again, retrospection is an important thing here, because it's easy to just look back at actions you did and say, oh, I regret that because they are hurtful, because that type of behavior should be intolerable. It's another thing to look back at your actions and regret them because of the reaction of others, with how it landed with other people. And unfortunately, in this instance, while I want to give Dak Prescott the benefit of the doubt, because he has been such a good guy throughout his entire career, and he's been the face of the franchise and has respected that title, I just don't truly believe him that much. And I think that that issuing this Twitter apology was more to try to save face and to gain a little bit of public remorse, more so than it is he's truly apologetic and sorry for those comments about the refs. So am I glad ultimately that he issued an apology for whatever it is? Yes. I think that in a vacuum, it's important that he did that. He probably should have delivered that a little bit more expeditiously, but he could have gone it out there, I think, faster. But the bottom line is he did issue an apology, which is important. I just question how legitimate and valid it is, because again, he was justifying that type of behavior, and it wasn't until over 72 hours that he came out and condemned that type of action. So makes me a little bit wary, a little bit leery that perhaps his comments aren't fully masking over, or at least these Twitter comments don't fully mask over how he truly feels.